Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the S Word podcast.
Woo! We're here!
Exciting! Right, so who wants to go first at introducing themselves?
I'll go ahead. I'm Megan. Last name McGill. Are we doing that? I don't know.
That's funny.
Call me Meg.
We were
have to say a
you guys
nickname.
can call me Meg.
Fun fact, I don't know, but yeah, I'm Megan McGill, and I have chronic back pain.
Schmood.
Oh, everyone's looking at me, so I'm next. My name is... Okay, sorry. I have to lean in. My name is Hattie Smith, last name. You can call me Hat.
I love her.
I have a pet hamster.
Oh God.
And it's already happened. And I like reading. Yeah.
Right, do you want me to go next?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm Charlotte. I study forensic science at the University of Lincoln, and I also have like a YouTube channel and stuff that I run alongside my degree.
I'm Beth, and I study journalism at the University of Lincoln, and fun fact is I once met Cliff Richard on holiday.
Oh my God.
That's a good one.
I'm Lizzie. I also do journalism at the University of Lincoln, but I hate it. And I love a bottle of Prosecco on the weekends.
Brilliant.
Oh yeah, and we're all in our final year, aren't we?
Yeah.
So
Me
we're
and Meg
all-
do psychology.
Yeah.
We promise we won't be as awkward soon. I think it's
Yeah.
just the
Just
whole
getting
introduction
into it.
stage, you know,
It's
like
really
when
scary.
people have to do icebreakers and stuff, it's all a bit
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah.
Right.
So we've
So
basically
welcome.
started this podcast, the five of us, just because we were on about how much we all love listening to podcasts, so we thought, well, why not start our own? And the aim of it is basically just to kind of break taboos and discuss things that maybe people don't talk about, and just have some fun in filming it and kind of use it as like a stress relief for us
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
third year.
And a nice little platform to help other people out
Yeah.
who are also probably struggling with various things at uni
Oh
as
yeah,
well as their degree.
we want to answer all your questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about anything you want us
Yeah.
to talk about.
Yeah, it should be fun when we
Yeah,
get
it's
used to it.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because I haven't, well, I don't know, but I haven't seen any podcasts that are students at uni literally doing
No.
a podcast.
No.
I think that's cool. Like,
It's nice that we're all in third year as well, because I feel like we've got a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
oh, for sure.
But
Lots
we
of funny
don't have
stories.
everything together.
Yeah, no.
We're not. We're
Yeah.
still working it out ourselves. But
Yeah.
we
Just
can
those
try and
relatable
help.
teens.
Relatable queen.
Oh, we're not teens. We're not teens.
We're just so relatable.
Oh, where was it? How old we are? Should we
Oh,
say
yeah.
How did I no.
Oh.
We're all like 21, 20.
I'm still
Yeah.
20, guys.
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
22.
that?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
still 22.
Oh.
I'm not 22.
Right,
Yeah.
so does anyone want to talk about like maybe their favourite side of
Can I
uni?
just say
Yeah,
something first?
go for it.
I think we're all a little bit overwhelmed, but in the nicest way possible. We all just want to say thank you if you followed us on Instagram, because we've got
Oh,
over
yeah.
like 300 subscribers. We've not even put a podcast.
Subscribers.
Who am I? No,
Liz, you have
followers,
a really good,
sorry.
you have a really good
and-
podcast voice.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh God, I feel like Terry Wogan.
No, wait, sad.
He was a radio.
Sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Move on.
But yeah,
Rest in
thank you
peace.
so much. That was
Yeah,
pretty
thank
cool.
you.
Like,
That was
I thought we were
amazing.
gonna have like 10 followers for like
Yeah.
To be
ages.
fair, I thought it was just going to be us five following the account.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
The first
Same.
month.
So I love that.
It is really nice to see that we have got like, and people sending in like requests and stuff. I think.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
far. It's so
Yeah.
nice
We've
that
written them
people-
down. Like, we're taking note.
Yeah, we've got a huge bank of themes
Yeah,
to
so-
talk about.
Yeah.
I think we
Things.
should talk about a bit how we know each other first,
Yeah.
maybe.
I was thinking we should probably explain the S word.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
And,
Okay, we'll do that
Right.
first.
Does anyone want to go in? Who even came up with
Yeah,
it?
I
It was sort
wasn't
of stemmed
here.
from Meg.
It was Megan. Yes.
yeah, definitely.
I didn't say the S word. I said the F word, but that's already a thing. Like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
already.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, that's annoying because that's cool. But then we thought the S word sounds like the F word, but the S word student.
Yeah.
And it's like our whole thing is circling around student
Yeah.
and stereotypes and things like that.
And the whole S word being like a taboo.
Yeah, it
sort of
sounds
like-
like a taboo.
which
like,
is
kind
stuff
of
that we're
thing.
going to discuss. So
Yeah.
it sort of
Yeah.
all interlinks together. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's like one big
Perfect
circle.
name. It's
I'd
really
say like
good.
if you ask what the S word stands for, it's student. Like
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
word
Yeah.
because that's like what is the common theme here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So, yeah.
literally took us so long to think of
Yeah,
it.
it was so funny.
She sat in cafe near, like screaming out
Yeah.
thousands of
We-
different things. It just kept being sounded
We
like.
tried everything, name generators, that what was
It
The
was
weirdest.
the student
Yeah.
saga, breaking
Yeah,
student
like-
sagas.
The breaking student.
Like Twilight. That sounds like
Tacos.
Twilight.
The Twilight was fun.
Student tacos.
Yeah, it was really funny, but yeah, finally got a name, and we've got our Instagram up and running. So if you want to follow us, it is just the S Word Pod.
On Insta.
Insta.
YouTube pendant.
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube is pending.
So is Spotify.
But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna upload the episodes onto Spotify because people might be watching this from my YouTube, because I'm also going to be showing the like video version of it on my YouTube as well. So
Plug your YouTube.
yeah, my YouTube is Charlotte Emily. If anyone wants to watch the video version of this, if you're on Spotify, and vice versa,
And
is
get
on
to know
Spotify.
about us a bit more
Yeah.
on the YouTube.
Yeah, true.
I'm really worried about making the weird noises.
And
I
it-
always do it.
yeah.
Like, I'm really worried
No
about
one's
this.
That can be the jingle in the middle of like different
Yeah.
sections.
Oh god.
No,
Yeah,
oh
so we
no.
should probably like talk about how this came about and
Yeah.
what we're, because we're
Right.
kind of just introducing this episode and just setting the
Yeah.
tone,
Setting
I
the
guess.
scene.
So a bit of real background.
Yeah.
So me, Charlotte and Meg all met in first year. We became BFFs
Great.
in the first
Cringe, I'm gonna be
week.
sick.
Yeah, I know. And so that happened. Then not much else until
That's
a
the
couple
story.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Then I hand over to Charlotte.
Yeah,
it's
do you,
literally
yeah,
huge.
well,
Yeah.
Beth and Lizzie contacted me on Insta, was it?
Yeah.
Because they have a final year project. Do you want to explain about it? Because obviously I don't really know.
Okay, so basically, me and Lizzie both do journalism, and we both do print. So for our final year module, we have to basically create a brand of magazine, and our brand we've decided is to do it's called the Influencer. So we were looking for like influencers like in Lincoln or creators, because Charlotte doesn't like to be called the influencer.
Charlotte
That's a
is
whole
the
other story.
influencer.
And so basically we just messaged Charlotte and said, would you be interested in being interviewed for it? And then we met, was it last week?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it was last.
Oh no, it was last week.
Yeah, it was last Monday.
And then we just got talking, we interviewed her, had a really good time, and then it came up that we were all kind of interested in podcasts, and then as a joke we threw it out like, we could do a podcast, like we have the access to the studios at uni, and then like fast forward.
Yeah.
Like,
We'd only known each other about an hour.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't even know like you three existed, no offence, but
Yeah.
literally didn't have any clue.
Yeah.
But now I feel it's weird because I feel like we've been friends
Yeah.
for ages.
We're,
Yeah.
we're similar. We're
We've
very
clicked
similar.
very
And I
quickly.
think
Which is nice.
it works well because we don't all know everything about each other. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
on the podcast we'll be like finding out about each other, and we've
It's
got
quite
stuff to
nice.
talk about.
Like
Yeah.
I did not know Beth Metcalfe Richard.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's kind of the
Yeah.
Gist of everything.
Background.
I'm sure they'll, we'll talk more about
Yeah, more
ourselves
stuff will
later
come
on.
Yeah.
But
yeah
that's the background.
all that interesting stuff about ourselves.
Oh god.
We don't want to just talk about ourselves for an hour.
It was quite a quick turnaround, to be fair. Like
Yeah,
literally
really
last
quick.
week we just threw out an idea as a joke, and then now we're sat in a
In
studio.
a studio, in a soundproof studio.
All
Oh
crowding
God,
around
yeah.
2 microphones.
Yeah, luckily we got equipment thanks to you guys.
Mm.
Yeah.
Journalism does come in handy sometimes.
Yeah, even if you do despise it.
It is
Yeah.
handy.
I think we all said as well, like there isn't really a podcast out there like that's done by students for students.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like unique in the sense that like I've never heard anything.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. I think it's.
I just
it's
want it to be
cool.
like chill, light-hearted.
Whoa.
Chill, light-hearted, but also like informative too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a mix of everything. Just
Yeah.
for it to be something nice for someone to listen to on the way to work.
Stop doing that.
Breaking
on
the
their way
studio.
to work, or like just chilling, getting ready in the
ready.
morning. Like that's sort of the
Yeah,
vibe I was
going
thinking
to sleep
with
at
us.
night.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
if you're thinking of going to uni, you can just hear us talk
Yeah.
all about it.
Especially Lincoln, like because we all are at Lincoln, so
Yeah.
we
Maybe
can.
not if you want to do journalism.
Maybe this is the best thing to think about.
Unless you want to use the mics.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay. Well, what should
Well,
we dive into?
Charlotte has some notes, I
I do
see.
have some notes just because I was a bit nervous.
It's the first.
But I just maybe talking about your course, like have you enjoyed, like I know obviously we just touched on you disliking your course, but maybe a bit about it, maybe your favourite
Yeah.
aspects of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
So,
Moving the microphone.
I chose to do journalism because I wanted to be Holly Willoughby, But I soon realised that probably wasn't possible. In sixth form, I always wanted to be a teacher. Always.
Oh, really?
And then I feel like you kind of get to sixth form and you not forced to go to uni, but it's kind of the only option.
Yeah.
It is like
It is.
They make it seem like that.
And I was really into media studies when I was at sixth form. I did a lot of like filmmaking, a lot of stuff about music, video, TV, stuff like that.
Nice.
So I was really into it, and I thought, do you know what, journalism sounds like a great option for me. And I came obviously on an open day here with school, and I liked the look of it, and all was great. And then it kind of got into the actual course, and
Just wasn't
just
what you
stuff.
expected.
It's not what I expected.
Yeah.
It's I quickly realised it's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I almost dropped out in second year. I went literally to student services. I was ready to
Oh
go.
my God.
Oh my
Like I
goodness.
sat Beth down in the kitchen of our uni house and was like, I'm
Literally
leaving.
crying my eyes out and
Crying.
I
I was like, I'm off. Bye.
you packed your
was
bag.
like, no, literally,
I am off.
honestly, she literally sat me down, came in crying my eyes out. I was like, Lizzie, you okay? And then she was like, "Jo, I just can't do it." And I was like, no.
But I'm not saying it to put anyone off uni, but even if you come here and you do a course and you don't really like it, like it still can open doors. Like
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
journalism is quite
It's transferable.
it's transferable skills that you could use any way you wanted. So I'm not saying I've had the worst time ever,
Yeah, yeah.
but I just think I'm a home bird. I love being at home. That's why I commute this year. But you know what, my favourite part of the course is probably just made friends with Beth and
Yeah.
My favourite part of uni is
made friends and
it is hard.
It's a day out.
It gets me out of the house in the morning.
It's literally how I see it. I'm like, oh, I've got uni today, at least I get out for a bit.
What was the bit about it that you didn't? You said you didn't. It wasn't what you expected.
I feel like when you think of journalism,
Mm.
me personally, I was all about like the TV.
Presenting
Like
and
I
stuff.
wanted to be in that TV studio, talking about.
Right.
And now your dream has come to
Now my
life.
dreams come true. And I've got my
Fast forward,
podcast
that's
and I don't know. It was just everything was a little bit slow, and I don't know if it's because there's not a lot going on in Lincoln
Yeah.
that is journalistic as such. Like
Yeah.
the best story you get is like, oh my god, a swan
There
like
was a
ran
plot.
away. Like,
Or
do you know
like
what I mean?
flooded, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that. I just know that it's not what I want to do, and that's okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'll get
fine.
on with it.
Yeah.
I'm just getting on with life.
That's
You
a
weren't
good
meant to know.
attitude
You
to
didn't do
have.
journalism. Like, you know, you just
Yeah, I mean,
experienced
it's not
it
like
for the
it's
first
an option
time.
at sixth form, really,
Yeah,
for me.
no,
Like,
it's
the
not.
closest I had was media studies, which I really enjoyed. So maybe I should have gone on to do media studies here.
Yeah.
But then I also think, is that a bit of a
Yeah,
farce?
I mean,
don't
what's
know.
the difference in journalism and media studies?
that's a good
I
Like
think
one.
what-
journalism is where you like learn about telling the news and like what you can and can't report, and then you learn like how to use the cameras and stuff. Whereas media, I think you produce in like
Yeah.
film and that.
Right.
I think
Okay.
for me, I'm the opposite of you. Like, I thought of journalism and I thought I wanted to go. Well, I knew I wanted to go into like to like print and newspapers and magazines and stuff. So when I thought of coming here to do journalism, it would be like I'd be learning how to like write stories and like create content for like magazines and stuff. And then I got here, got to this course, and it's so broadcast based. Like everything's like TV and like learning how to do cameras, and I don't like presenting. So for me, that's what put me off, and it's made me realise that journalism is just not what I want to
Right,
do. Like,
okay.
in a way, it is a good thing that it has taught me that
Yeah.
I don't want to do it, but then part of me is like, wow, I've just wasted 3 years like
Yeah.
getting this degree. But
Then you've got a degree. Like,
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah.
that's not a waste. On to you.
Okay, on to me. So, I probably delve into this properly at some point, but I was actually going into musical theatre and dance before I decided on forensic science. So, quite the dramatic change, to be honest, from like dancing to a science degree. It's quite a different thing. Like, I was expecting to go to London and like train there and be in the studio 9 to 6 every day, like dancing. And then that literally changed last year of sixth form when we started applying. Like, I think a month before, I just completely changed my application and just went science based, and then found Lincoln through an open day, and then decided not to look anywhere else because I loved it so much. So the whole applying for uni stage for me like quickly changed, and here I am. I'm actually quite enjoying my course, like especially now it's third year. First year was a bit shitty, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was just basics and doing a lot of background stuff, but I know it's necessary, so I wasn't too bothered by it. I was I know that I'm going to have to do this, but now I'm doing a lot more interesting topics such as like drugs of abuse and forensic toxicology and more interesting things than cell biology, like the basics.
Didn't you have that like fire and explosive thing?
Yeah, I have fire and explosives next
Really
semester, which
interesting.
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And I've had like forensic anthropology, which is all about like the bones and how you can tell, like you can identify bones from how, like the age, the ancestry, and all different things from bones, which was really interesting and something I wanted to go into. But yeah, it's all been quite a journey, I guess. Like first year I think I didn't enjoy the most my course wise, but I had the best year, like discovering myself and finding my independence and you know, like making like a solid group of friends. Obviously me and Megan have been friends for years, but I made friends with Hat like instantly. Like we clicked on the first night we met in halls. So
Yeah, well, you weren't in the same flat.
yeah, well, no, me and Hat were actually in the same flat. We
That's
got put
another
together
story.
in halls. Yeah,
That
we
is a
can
long
talk
story.
about halls and accommodation maybe in another video
Yes,
because
write
that'd
that
be
down in that
interesting.
notebook.
Yeah, I'm writing it down. I will. I'll put it on my phone. But yeah, Hat, over to you.
Oh, over to me. Okay. So, yeah, I'm sort of similar to Charlotte, but as in like I changed my idea. But I was gonna go into English literature from like day one. That's what I wanted to do, and I also was gonna stay at home and go to uni because I didn't want to leave home, didn't want to leave my mum. And but then it was, yeah, I even wrote a personal statement for English literature, and I can't remember the timings. Oh yeah, I was proper like, I looked around unis for English, well, the one in my house for English literature. But oh yeah,
I hate
A-level
it.
English lit was just at my school anyway. I did not enjoy it. But and the more I like learnt about psychology and researched it, I realised that was just more me. That was so like, I think it's because obviously my hobby is books and reading. Everyone was like, oh, you should go into English literature. That was just like, you know, but obviously that's my hobby. It's not.
That's what schools are like. They're kind of like, what do you enjoy? Do a degree in it.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's what I was told. And then I
wow.
realised like I actually don't. I enjoy reading, but I'm not like, I wasn't like amazing at analysing all these
Yeah,
texts.
it's
Like I didn't
different.
actually enjoy
It's
it.
really
I just
different.
like wanted to be like, I'm just gonna read this at my own pace. But so yeah, then I went into psychology. And I did look around unis like far away from home because my brother did, and I thought I'd probably benefit from moving out, you know, getting that experience. And I wasn't really into it until I went to Lincoln, and I just loved it. So yeah, it just changed my whole mind. But it was hard, obviously, moving home. But then yeah, I met Charlotte and Meg, and I'm still here. So obviously went well.
Yeah. Well, I actually, when you say that, I was just thinking, I went through a phase, I think I was in year 12. Or actually it must have been year 13 when everyone's like thinking like what they're going to do when they leave. And I was like, shit, I don't know what degree I want to do. I know I want to go to university, but I was like, I don't know what I want to study. I feel like you guys are all quite similar.
Yeah.
And I just suddenly was like, I'm going to do law. Like, because I did like a history A-level, English A-level. I was like, those two together is like law, isn't it? Like, that's what I just thought. And I started,
like it if you're
yeah,
doing
I like
similar
started
stuff.
looking at law courses and just kind of trying to convince myself I wanted to do that. And then I was like, actually, I really don't want to do that. And then I think one of my friends mentioned, if you looked at psychology, because I didn't do the A-level, so I hadn't really experienced psychology at all. Like there was no GCSE or A-level in psychology at my school, which people think is so weird. Like my tutor said I'm the first person she's met that hasn't done the A-level. I was like, oh, that's weird. Yeah. But I did biology A-level, which has helped a bit. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I kind of, one of my friends suggested, why don't you look into psychology? Because I think she knew it was kind of like a broad subject, so it wouldn't like close off doors. And then I did that, and then I was like, oh, I like the sound of that. And then looked at some unis. I looked at like some big unis like Manchester and Leeds, and I did like them, but I think I found them really overwhelming. And I was like, shit, I don't know if I can handle life in like a massive city like that. Coming from a small town is quite a big change. And then I came to Lincoln and I was like, this is why I like it here, because it's got like everything.
It is such a nice place.
Yeah, I feel like you just know, you get a feeling.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone kept saying that to me, and I was like, I haven't had it yet. I was like, I liked Manchester, I liked Leeds, but I was like, I haven't felt like, yes, this is where I want to be.
I remember my mum telling me it was like when you're first like moving out and you find a house and you just know that this is the house I really like.
Yeah.
She said you'll just know, and I was the same. I was like, I've looked at 7 and I don't like any of them. And then as soon as I came to Lincoln,
you
it was
just
actually
kind
the
of
last
got a
one I
vibe.
looked at.
Me too, I think, actually. Yeah.
This was the second one I went to, and I was just like, oh, I can't be bothered to go to any others because I like this one too much, and if I don't get in, then I'll just defer and try again the next year.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, my
I was
second
sold.
option was like staying at home
Mm.
because I didn't want to go anywhere if it wasn't here.
Yeah, and then the actual course itself, I was like you in first year. I was a bit like, God, this is
A ball ache.
boring. Like I was
Yeah.
bored. It was just like, I think as well because you're not actually, because it doesn't count. You're kind of thinking, what the
What is the
hell?
point
Like,
in this? Why am I here?
the whole time I was thinking like, I didn't feel motivated because like whereas in second and third year I'm like, God, I'm like throwing myself into my work because I'm like, I want to get a good grade. But in first year I was just be like, ugh, this is boring. And it was like conceptual and historical issues in
Oh,
psychology
God, that
and
was
just
awful.
like basically like all Plato and shit. Ugh.
It was awful, and I kept saying to you like, at A level it was much more interesting than this.
Yeah, because that was like my first experience with psychology. I was like, what the hell is going
I
on?
promise you, it is more interesting.
And like I already knew that
I
stuff
can
because
assure you.
Yeah.
I already knew that stuff because I did philosophy A level, so I already knew.
Yeah.
It was weird, but yeah. Now I'm in
First
third
year was
year.
weird.
Like second year, I actually really enjoyed, and then third year, I'm enjoying so far. Like I'm enjoying my modules. I've got a good mix of like biology and theory and stuff. I'm
I feel like
liking
as
it.
well when you're in second and third year, you're thinking more about the future and thinking, oh, I could do this, or I can go into
Yeah.
this. That's interesting. Where in first year, you're just thinking about, like, what is this? Like, I'm at uni. Like,
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
happening?
yeah.
So yeah,
And
it
that is
gets better.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention, I'm sure my brother won't mind me saying it, but yesterday he FaceTimed me like really upset and was like so overwhelmed. He's just started first year and he was just like, what's going on? And I feel like it's nice that he could reach out to me, and I think this podcast could
Especially
do
as a
like
boy.
a similar thing. And
Yeah.
as a boy, like it's a lot harder to open up because of just general life, isn't it? Society has made men think that they can't open up.
Yeah.
And like my brother was like crying on FaceTime to me yesterday, like saying he was so overwhelmed by a number of
Bless
things,
him.
like
Yeah, it's horrible.
hard.
hall stress,
so
like
hard.
hall's tension, and like
Yeah.
not getting on with everyone in your flat, and then you've got societies and like him facing stuff
Yeah.
in societies, not sure if he likes his course and whether he wants to carry it on. Like there's so many things in first year especially that are so daunting, and it can
Yeah.
get very overwhelming for people.
It really
so.
can.
First year is the worst because you literally have just moved away from home, and then
Yeah, it's
like,
really
living
like
with
the
people
hardest
that you
year.
don't know, and like it is overwhelming and it is really hard. And,
Yeah.
like, that's why I think that's why so many people drop out in first
Oh,
year.
for
Oh
sure.
yeah,
Like,
definitely.
It is. Really
I was going
hard.
to. I looked into
Oh,
dropping out
Yeah.
and going.
Same. I think I've looked into dropping
Yeah.
out every single year.
And
And I-
because it's like what was I gonna say? I've lost my train of thought. But like the whole like your brother's literally, he's been living in Liverpool for like 2 months, and he's expected to just have all his stuff together,
Yeah.
like, and be able to write these essays and do all this stuff. But
Yeah.
I remember being like, I don't even know how uni works still.
I
Yeah.
still. I
Like,
said
what the
this
hell was a
year, Like,
lecture?
how do I write an essay? This
I'm
year?
still like, how do you reference? I'm not
Exactly.
even there.
Yeah.
How do I write an introduction
Yeah,
to
like,
an essay?
because it goes from like being spoon fed at school to just being like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
as
lot-
well as
it is
moving
quite
out
scary.
and dealing with all that.
oh,
Yeah, and
that's
like living by yourself, it's
Also, I feel like
Yeah.
everyone has completely different experiences.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I've got 2 brothers, and all 3 of us went to uni, and we had completely different
Yeah.
experiences.
It's mad, isn't
Like,
it?
and you can't really listen because obviously before you, I mean, I'm sure you guys are the same. Before I went to uni, everyone was telling me about their experiences. Some were bad, some were good.
yeah.
You can't listen to it because
No.
you just
Yeah.
everyone feels differently, and yeah.
What I
Like,
was
most of my friends are like, they all live away from home, and they're like, oh, it's great, I don't understand why I don't like uni. And I'm like, because it's just like, I'm just different. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's just
Yeah.
different. And
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure to go to uni and like enjoy it.
and
whereas-
it'd be
yeah,
the best years of your
definitely.
life.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
it's like, no, not
Yeah.
for everyone. It's not like
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's so much pressure on you to go and enjoy it and like join up to all these societies and like enjoy your course and do all your work, and it's like it's really overwhelming.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
Without sounding like a negative Nancy, I do feel like if you are going to uni, so everyone's laughing at me because I moved the mic. I'm going to break the studio. There is no pressure. There is pressure to enjoy uni, and I feel like people are like your mum or your dad, your parents will be like, oh my god, like you're having the best time ever. But like I literally used to sit in halls and just cry.
Yeah,
Like
me
I
too.
used to hate it, and I know
That's so
Yeah,
sad.
I know we said we were going into this sort of in future
We can
podcast, but we're kind of in the area
Yeah.
anyway.
We're introducing ourselves.
Just it's
horrible.
sometimes it's really not what you expect, and I
No,
guess
it's
we've all
not.
kind of got different experiences
Yeah.
with uni and how much we've enjoyed it, especially through all 3 years. But it's just
It's not what I expected.
it's not what you expect.
It's not what I
So
expected.
don't worry.
It's not what I expected
if you
either.
don't like
No.
it, don't worry.
And don't feel
Just-
pressure to go. That's what I'd say, because my sixth form literally make out like you don't go to uni, you're not
Yeah.
going to get a job. And,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if I was looking like into it properly now, like I was in 6 months, I'd look into like apprenticeships or
Yeah.
getting a job or something, because I genuinely think if I was doing an apprenticeship, I would be so much happier.
And do you know what? There's no shame in not going to uni as well.
No,
Oh,
like,
not
like,
at all.
There's literally
Not
so
at
many
all.
people nowadays
Yeah.
are not going to uni because of like, I think like everyone thinks when you go to uni you're gonna get in debt as well, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah, that's a silly thing.
There's
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
know.
misinformation, I think.
Yeah, that's a
You
whole-
get a lot of adults being like, oh, you're in so much debt, blah,
Mm.
blah, blah. I'll probably never pay it back, Sandra. Don't panic.
Back off,
Calm
Sandra.
down. I'm all right.
Yeah. I'm thinking we can go into maybe like, because we were talking about student stereotypes the other night when we were like
Oh,
sat on the
yeah.
sofa,
Oh, yeah.
and how our parents have different like, what's the word? Like stereotypes
Yeah.
is another
Yeah.
word for it. About how students live,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that
they
we're
have no
partying all
idea.
the
Yeah,
time.
we're all
that
messy, we
yeah,
don't eat
You can't
properly,
cook,
lazy,
You can't
Yeah.
wash your own clothes. Like,
Yeah.
it's a complete different.
It's so.
It's different for everyone. That's what I just
Yeah.
can't
all
stress
I
enough.
all I would describe uni as is just a bubble,
Yeah.
and unless you're in it, you don't understand it.
No.
Like,
It's so true.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
can't. Like I'm the first of my like family to go to uni. Like I think even I was thinking about the other night, even my extended family, like cousins, haven't gone to uni, apart from like some that have lived at home and gone, and that doesn't count. Like
Yeah.
in terms of the bubble, like you're not really in
they
the bubble.
really
life.
have
For me,
no
to be
idea.
honest.
We're like
Yeah.
half in the bubble then, because we have lived in halls, and then
I
obviously this year
think-
we're like living at home.
But
That's
you've
really
experienced,
interesting.
the bubble.
Whereas like
You've
people who live at
experienced
home
it.
and go commute to uni like from first year, I feel like it's very similar to school
Oh, I feel
in
like
that
it's
Oh
sense.
yeah, my eldest brother stayed at home and commuted, and he even went like he deferred for like a couple years and worked for like 3-4 years before he went to uni. But we'll talk about now, and we have completely different experience. He does not
Yeah.
understand, and it's so
Yeah.
frustrating because he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't, it's fine at you, whatever," and I'm just like,
'Cause
"You don't understand."
Not a lot changes from school to uni that in that sense, or college to
Yeah.
uni.
No, I feel like it is. I feel like now it's like I go to like college or something, but
Yeah.
it's not because I know what it's like to live here, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it's like
Yeah.
But it's
whereas
just-
when you're in the bubble of like you go
Living
to a
by
lecture and then
yourself.
you're going home to halls where you're not 18 and you've got to cook for yourself clean.
Yeah.
And you're
Um,
living with strangers.
strangers.
That's
Yeah,
the
that
massive
was
thing,
hard.
you
That
live
is
with
the
people you
weirdest
don't-
concept. Like thinking about that now, boobs almost just came out. From third year, like I sit and think about this
Yeah.
quite a lot when I'm on
Yeah.
my
I
own in
think
my
I
room.
can't
I'm
believe
like,
I stayed
how did
there.
I survive first year
Yeah.
living with strangers?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
can't think of anything
Oh my-
worse than walking out and seeing those
I
people
know.
that I don't
Oh,
like.
no,
And I can't think of anything worse
I used to
than
go
that.
home in first year on the weekend, and I'd have like food in my cupboards or like food in the fridge, and I'd come back and like my flatmates would have eaten it.
Oh,
my God,
fuck
yeah.
that.
And then like my flatmates would be playing music till like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'd just be like, this is literally hell. Like I used to sit in my room, come back from lectures and just cry because I was
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah,
so lonely. And like
Yeah.
I used to go around to Lizzie's, or like Lizzie would come to mine, and it's just lonely. Like it's
Yeah.
horrible.
And the rooms are so small and like
It's
just
worse.
it
We,
was
um,
awful.
Stinky
room.
blue
So-
curtain.
and I had like gamers above me. The bright blue bathroom door.
But then I think it is such a huge learning experience, and you learn a lot from it, and you
Yeah.
grow a lot.
Yeah,
like
you do,
me
yeah.
looking at my 18-year-old self, oh my god.
Oh, you guys
Yeah.
wouldn't recognise me before.
Yeah,
uni.
like,
Yeah.
we've changed.
You've
You've
and I've barely
grown.
known you for.
Yeah. Oh
You know
yeah,
what I
I've
mean?
changed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like-
if my mum says like, "Oh my god," like
Yeah.
so different.
Like you grow so much, and it's not always a negative experience. Like we sound like we're being really.
Oh no,
No,
hell
but
no.
like, think about it. This is a positive thing to come out
Yeah.
of uni. Like this would never be possible.
Yeah.
if,
Oh,
like,
no.
none
And,
of
like,
us were here.
I'm glad
I'm-
I did halls, even though it,
Oh,
it
yeah,
is
for
so
sure.
funny. Like all
Oh,
the
yeah.
memories. I think I'm glad I did it.
I don't think I could ever say I was glad I lived in
Oh,
halls.
really?
Honestly, it was
Fair
was
enough.
horrible.
It's different for everyone
it's
though.
different
Like
for
I think
everyone.
I only survived because I had hat in my
Oh
flat.
yeah, I would have
You're
dropped
very
out if
lucky.
I hadn't have met Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my flat was just full of people that I
Not your type. of
don't
people.
have anything in common with. Like we didn't really talk, and like it wasn't like they were loud and partied all the time. It wasn't. It was just.
Yeah.
It was like I
Different
actually would
people.
rather them do that than.
Just because you live with them doesn't mean you have to be best friends. Like
Yeah.
you didn't get on with them.
But yeah, I know people that have gone to uni and have had like I've got friends that have gone to Manchester. Like she's at Manchester Uni and she's met like her flatmates in first year. They like now live together in second year, and then again in third year and stuff. Like they became really good friends.
Yeah.
Did you three live together last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've
Same
lived
house.
together for second and third year, and it's been.
Yeah.
I think we're really lucky with in that
We
sense
have
been
because
really
a lot of people
lucky.
struggle with finding someone to live with or
Yeah.
having a close knit group of friends that all want to stay at uni. Because I know for you guys did, but
Didn't go well.
it didn't work out very well. Yeah,
That's
Ah.
another story
Yeah.
for another
Ah.
That is
time.
another story.
And I feel like you said, like we sound like we're being negative. We're not saying like you're gonna have bad experience. We're just saying it's okay if you have a bad experience.
Bad experiences
Like,
can happen.
because the pressure for everyone to be like, oh my god, are you having such a good time? It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Have you seen that thing on Facebook and it's like, oh, like your relative says, oh, it looks like you're having such a good time. And it's like, yes, Sandra, I'm not going to post pictures of me crying.
Yeah.
I think that's what my mum thinks. Like,
Yeah.
no shade to her because I but like, I think she looks at my Instagram and is like, wow, shut
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
sickest time at uni. But
Yeah.
she doesn't know that I'm
Yeah.
sat crying in my bed worrying about all the different things
Yeah, you've seen
I've got to do.
photos from that one night out I went on.
Yeah.
And then
months ago.
a few months ago that I regretted.
I'm still
'cause I came
posting.
back,
I came back and was
and was being sick for 3 days.
But yeah.
That's actually so funny because I used to literally FaceTime my mum like sobbing
Yeah,
into the camera, and she'd be like, "Are you not going out?" I'm like, "No, I'm not."
I used to remember
My
mum
mum
crying
would panic
so many
much.
times.
If I cried like that, mum would be like,
Yeah,
oh my god, I'm coming to
that's
get
it.
you.
No, literally, this is my mum. Like last year, especially, like I'd literally come to uni, I'd just sit in my room and FaceTime my mum, and then she's like, oh my god, are you okay? No, I'm not. And then like I get off FaceTime and it'd be 2 hours later and she's texting me like, oh my god, are you sure you're okay? Like I'll come get you, like honestly. And then tomorrow morning she's like, you okay? Sure. And I'm like, I'm really sorry for worrying you, but I was just upset.
Yeah, I hate when people like if I get
Yeah.
a bit upset and then it's like for 3 weeks after that it's every day. Are you okay? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yes,
yeah, I was
Get out
until
my
you just
face.
reminded me I was
Sorry,
feeling
love
shit
you,
the
but
other
get out my
day. But yeah, that's another thing.
I don't really understand uni until you've come to uni.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
message
definitely.
of the
No.
podcast. This first
That is
episode, I
such the
think,
message.
It is.
it's just like
I know we keep saying about the whole negative thing, but I feel like from like my videos and just like Instagram and things, everyone thinks students are having a good time, and it's nice that we can
24/7.
share our own
Yeah.
It's not
our own
always,
experiences with
like-
the negative side of things. Like we're not living a perfect life at uni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going through a lot of shit behind the
Yeah.
scenes too.
I guess maybe it's not us, but it's not negative. It's realistic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
realistic.
We're not
That's
being-
it.
Yeah.
that's
There
it.
we
I mean,
go.
like yesterday I was at home for the weekend because I was having a slight breakdown
Yeah,
over uni
exactly.
stress. So I went home and now I'm back and I'm having a great time. Like
Yeah.
it's just
It's weird,
ups and
how your
downs,
emotions can,
like-
fluctuate, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And
Oh,
just
okay.
being
that
able to
it is
manage
like a
it.
big roller
I
coaster.
guess
It
it's nice for you
is.
guys as well because like obviously we live at home now, but if it all gets too much, like you can literally just like go home. And it's nice to have a break for a few days.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
come back and then it's like okay.
And like even when I was at home, Mum was like, "Oh, aren't you missing lectures though?" and stuff. And I was like, "I just need
Just
a
shut
break
up.
from that.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't understand uni. Like
Yeah.
I need to have some time off."
Yes, Mum, I am missing the lecture,
Yeah.
but it's for
I miss
self-care.
most lectures.
I hardly go in. Okay.
Self care.
Honestly, uni has given me migraines.
Oh, same. I've
Oh,
got a headache
yeah,
right
my
now.
migraines- my migraine started because of uni.
Yeah.
I'm on pills for God's sake.
Aren't we
I
all?
think I need them.
Yeah, I think we're all.
Which ones do you recommend?
Well, if you're just going to your GP, they'll recommend it.
But yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the podcast could kind of be like us
Just
letting
keep it
people
real.
into the bubble before they
Yeah.
actually become in the bubble. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, because I didn't
Or
have
if
that.
you're in the bubble, we're going through this together.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like,
And just
I
let you
didn't
know
have
that
That's actually so
everything's
true.
okay. It's all
Mhm.
alright.
Or the people who are just interested about the bubble and have
Yeah.
no
Know
idea
about it.
what
That's
to know
cool.
about
Like,
the
if you're
bubble.
like an older sister of someone that's at uni or a mum or something, like
Yeah.
even
Could
that,
help
like
them give
yeah.
advice, couldn't it? Like for
Mm.
people who don't understand what they're going through, it could give them a
Yeah.
No,
bit
this
of
is for the people that like for us all, for example, sitting in halls crying and wanting
Yeah.
to go home. This is for them that are
Yeah.
sat there now feeling like they've got no
We've
friends
been
and
there too.
they hate the
Yeah.
course.
We've
Like,
all
this is-
been there.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
It literally
Yeah.
does get better. Like
It's
third
not
year, we're all
just
still
about the
here.
bubble either.
Yeah. We
We're
just
not
have to
just
laugh
talking
about
the
it.
bubble, I
Yeah,
feel
we'll laugh
like.
or cry.
Yeah, exactly.
We've
Just
got
laugh your
other
way
topics
through
as
it.
well though,
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
we?
Yeah.
Not just the bubble.
Oh, no, yeah,
Mostly
we
the
love this
bubble, but
bubble.
not
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
saying bubble?
Bubble.
Bubble.
We've committed
Yeah.
to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
bubble.
our title for this one, is the bubble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's already.
I think that's stunning.
But yeah, we're not always going to be talking about student stuff, are we?
No.
We are going to venture out into other
don't
taboo
know.
things like
And not always
sex
taboo.
periods. No, not even taboo
Yeah.
stuff. Just
No.
General
Girl
people-
chat as
stuff
well.
like-
It's problems.
yeah.
Just getting a
Well,
notebook
a
out,
big
yeah,
just
like
flipping
people-
through the
like
pages.
dating culture, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah,
like
yeah.
Tinder,
yeah,
Social
stuff like
media.
that.
like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like,
Mhm.
Anything you want. Family, friends.
Yeah.
yeah.
We just
got
kind
it
of-
covered.
If you
I
want
just-
to know what's cooked for your tea, we'll give you a menu.
Oh my god!
I've
I was
got
actually
some
thinking.
recipes I can give you.
I was actually-
Yeah.
I was thinking when I was cooking last night. I was like, oh, we could talk about like what kind of.
Student meals.
Yeah.
Student meals.
Diet culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I wrote that last night. I had a little brainwave.
Fashion tips.
That's my whole dissertation.
I can't help
Yeah.
you with that one, sorry.
We can
Oh
try.
god.
But yeah, so we just kind of want it. What do we want? Like, it was just a space. Like, I'm just imagining like somewhat like as someone that's walking around uni feeling like lonely
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
It's
or
like an
someone
everything
that's
else thing, but not
Yeah.
Yeah.
not at all, but like,
Yeah.
it's just so they know
or
that,
someone that's
Yeah.
yeah,
like,
someone
we're
that.
there, but we're not.
Yeah. Just some reassurance in your ears.
Yeah.
That's what I use podcasts for.
Same. Same.
Yeah.
I like listening to them just.
Give me some advice.
I find they
Yeah.
really help with if you struggle with anxiety
Yeah.
or like any
Yeah.
sort of
Calm.
mental health blips.
This is
It's
so
nice
weird,
having
but
something on the
like, when I
background.
drive to uni and I'm like stuck in traffic, I get like really anxious and really panicky. So like stick a podcast on. It's like someone else is in the car with you.
Yeah.
So it's just like
Nice,
that's
it's just
nice.
relaxing.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
fine. Like,
Having a chat.
having a chat.
Having a
Yeah.
chat, but you'd have to
Yeah.
say.
It's nice
You don't
for
have
us
to
as
sit and they're
well,
just talking.
being
Mhm.
here, like in this room, just having a chat
It's
for
like
an
getting
hour.
to know you guys as well. It's like
Yeah.
It's nice, yeah.
I can imagine us like in the future, like obviously now we're all nervous, like sitting right next to the microphone. Soon we'll just be laying back, like just talking about our day, like
Yeah.
just having a chat.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was going to say that I opt for podcasts when I'm walking to uni because that's something in my day that I would get so anxious about, like leaving the house.
Yeah.
Like when I was in a really bad mental state, I would be so scared to like just walk to uni. Like that would be the part of the day that I dreaded. So having a podcast on, it was like I was walking with someone
Yeah.
or just having something to distract myself from how I was feeling. It was nice, but until I like met my friend and walked to our lecture.
Yeah, even if you want a break from like watching stuff, like if you're watching YouTube, Netflix or something and you just feel a bit, do you just think, oh I want to do something, like just not watch, like I'll cook with a podcast on, or do the
Yeah.
washing up, or like
Yeah, I love podcasts.
do your makeup with the podcast.
It's something different. Spice up your day. Shall we talk about our favourite ones
Yeah.
while we're here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, I was actually in bed last night listening to Jamie Lang's Private Parts podcast because he has like guests on I think like, every episode pretty much, which I think is quite cool. And it's always people like if you're a 20-year-old girl like me, like it's people like Montana and off Love Island, and I'm trying to think of more like a lot of people from Made in Chelsea. If you're interested in that, like it's quite like relevant
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
and like people that I would like follow on Instagram. So it's quite they're on a podcast like James Argent from Towie.
I
Arge.
thought she was going to say James Charles.
And like stuff like that. So I like his podcast because he's got guests on all the time, and the Receipts podcast.
Yeah, Receipts podcast.
Because I feel
man.
like that's just
they kill me
number
off.
one.
That's what we're trying to be.
Yeah. That's what I aspire to be.
I think I listen to like different podcasts than you guys as well.
Yeah.
So I listen to, there's some that are like, obviously I love like the Receipts podcast talking about advice and stuff, but I listen to some that are like, so for example, there's one I just found called Drunk Women Solving Crime, and it's it's so yeah, it's this group of I was gonna say girls then, but they're 3 women, and they have like guests on, and mostly they're comedians, and they literally they'll get really pissed, and they'll just talk about like old crimes and like. So
How
with
they'd
one,
solve them.
yeah, and they'll see like how they would solve them.
It's actually
So
really
it's
good.
like that's relaxing because like it's nothing topical. It
Yeah.
just takes our mind off everything. And my
Little bit
second,
fun.
the second one I like is because I love this comedian called James Acaster.
I love him.
Oh, I went to see him the other week. It was amazing.
Didn't he come here the other week? I've actually made that up. Is someone coming here?
He's coming here soon, I think. But yeah, and he has one with his other comedian friend. They have guests on, and it's called Off Menu. And do you listen
I've
to
listened
that?
to that before,
Yes,
yeah.
and they just they talk about, so have a guest on, and they're like the waiters, and they'll just ask them what's their like favourite drink, side, main meal, starter, whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
It's you should listen to it. It's
Yeah.
really cool because it's like, yeah, it's just nothing about the world, so it just takes your mind off everything for an hour or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so my favourites are the Receipts, which Megan's already mentioned, and I just like the fact that they don't care about anything they say.
Yeah.
They
They're
just
amazing.
are like
Brutally
brutally honest, like full force, like don't give a shit about what
Yeah.
anyone's gonna say about
I love
them.
that.
Yeah.
And give actual advice rather than like sugarcoating stuff.
They have no shame. I
Yeah.
love it.
And then I listened to he's started off on YouTube, but True Geordie. I don't know if anyone knows of him. I just like True Geordie's podcast. He does a lot of sport ones, which I don't listen to because I'm not that sporty. But I listen to all of like the YouTube drama and stuff on that because I'm interested in that because I'm a little YouTube hoe.
This is gonna sound so like just like stereotypical, but I absolutely love the Gemma Collins one. Like, I don't know if you love her or I hate
Oh my god,
her,
I
but
listened to that in bed the other night.
I
haven't
really
heard
want to
it.
listen to
It's
it.
so good. I love
The
it.
juicy.
It's so funny.
It's like trash,
It's
but
so-
good.
Yeah, it's
It's
good
good
because
trash.
It's literally so bad. Like, she's like, hi guys, welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah.
And she's like, so I'm in London, I'm in this taxi, and
Yeah,
she's like, I've
yeah,
got
yeah.
Lucas with me, like carrying all my bags and doing my hair and stuff.
Yeah.
It is really
Yeah.
good. And then also I really
Nice.
like the Boohoo and the Pretty Little Thing ones.
Oh
Or
yeah, the Pretty Little Thing one.
yeah, the Boohoo and Pretty Little Thing ones, they always have guests on.
I
And
like Pretty
also
Little Thing.
the Avon one with, I think it's Sally Hughes, she does like beauty one with Avon, and that's really interesting. It has
Oh,
like
I
makeup
didn't know
and like
that.
beauty tips and stuff if you're into that.
Oh, is it my go?
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll go.
Go on.
Take it away.
So I'm a loyal girl, and I pretty much only listen to one podcast at the minute because I like to binge.
Yeah,
I like to
Yeah,
binge.
yeah.
It freaks me out having a
Um,
couple on the go.
Too many on the go, it stresses me out. Although I did listen to that Receipts podcast
Yeah,
the other
good.
day on the train. But my favourite podcast at the minute is Shagged, Married, Annoyed. It's Chris Ramsey and Rosie
I've heard of
Ramsey.
that.
I
The
love Chris
comedian.
Ramsey.
It's absolutely hilarious. Like, I have to stop myself from literally wetting myself on the train. It's just like one of
Yeah.
those things where you think everybody's looking at me because I'm literally laughing. But it's really funny if you like it's comedy, but it's like the lowest level of comedy, like stories about like people shitting themselves and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like just
yeah.
the funniest
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
things ever that you wouldn't normally sit and think about, but
Yeah.
it just takes your mind off.
I need
off
to
stuff.
listen to that.
Yeah, I've just got my makeup on.
Wow, we've talked for nearly an hour.
Oh god, we've got
Should wrap
to
things
go. Yeah?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Let's
This
go.
is the
So
introduction.
we're going to be filming these every Wednesday, and then hopefully they'll be up every Friday. But if you want to follow the Instagram and like let us know any things you want to hear, you can check us out at the S Word Pod. And
Yeah.
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 I hope you've
Yeah.
liked it.
Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed it. Let us know if
Yeah.
there's anything you want us to
Yeah.
talk about.
Instagram's like our main port of call if you want to message us about
Yeah.
potential topics in the future
Yeah.
or like anything you want us to discuss in the next one.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say before we do go though is that before this episode is going to go up before the register to vote closes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I really want to cover that because I
Well
think it's so
done.
important that we are promoting good things like that and making sure your voice is heard.
Yeah.
What when does the date
I
close?
think it closes at 23:59 on the 26th of November,
Okay, cool. When
Okay,
is
right.
that?
which is
In
like
6
by the
days.
time the next podcast goes up,
Yeah.
it'll be
Yeah,
out
yeah,
over.
yeah.
So I thought it would be nice to mention it in something
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
because of the current crisis.
Yeah, that's
We'll delve
that's
into that
another
another
story.
day.
Just
a
I
whole
just
other
yeah
issue.
I just think like if you are gonna do anything, just make sure you go out and vote and get yourself registered because
Just get your voice.
it's
It
just
doesn't
really
take long.
important
Just
to
read
It's
the
our
manifestos
future.
or a bit of each
Yeah.
manifesto, see what you agree with most
And
and
vote.
Especially students, because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're not going to vote. So
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah,
thinks we're little
please do.
snowflakes,
I
but
wanna-
you know
Yeah.
what? I'm gonna vote, and so should
Yeah.
you.
It's our
Yeah.
future, guys.
yeah, so
Yeah.
register to vote.
It's so
Please, please,
important.
please.
Honestly, if you just
If you learn one thing from this podcast, and if anyone's even still listening this long, just
yeah, please vote.
it literally takes like 2 minutes online and you're done
Yeah.
and then it will
Yeah.
tell you. You can even vote by post. You don't even have to leave your house. Like
Which
just,
I've done that by accident. I don't know how. I somehow ticked postal vote on my application. I don't
when
know
has
why.
that happened?
I don't know, but it came to the post in and I
Yeah.
asked you what it meant.
Yeah,
So apparently I applied for that. So yeah, but that's easy as well.
Yeah.
So
Do it.
Yeah.
do it
Please
now.
do it. We
But-
watched the Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn debate last night.
yeah, I watched it
Oh my
too.
god,
Yeah,
I can't get into
we could
it.
talk about that another time.
That's
Another
that
time.
thing. We'd be here for like 3 hours. If
Yeah.
we would.
Yeah.
We need to know.
We could make some bullet points and discuss next week.
Yeah.
We could talk about
Get
that.
in
Closer
touch
to
if
the
you
election.
wanna
Yeah, get in
hear.
touch. Tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah, and thank you for
Well,
listening.
thank you for listening.
I'm
Hope
sure
you
we'll put a
enjoyed.
poll on our
Oh,
Instagram
yeah,
to see
yeah,
what we
yeah.
want to do next week and see what you guys want.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh,
hope
cool.
you enjoyed.
Yeah.
We'll see you next
Hope
week.
you get in the vibe.
Yeah, hope you
Yeah.
get.
See you next week.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.